What does Genesis 3, Genesis 16, Judges 16, 1 Kings 16 and 17, Proverbs 5, Ecclesiastes 7, Matthew 14, and Revelation 2:20 all have in common? Well, they hold the secret to becoming a woman above all the rest. Stick around and find out. How's it going, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. If you're just now tuning into my channel, welcome. And if you find any kind of value out of it, please, like everyone else, I'm asking you to like, subscribe, and share. And basically, my channel, we're taking a look at all things that affect us as Americans, and taking a look at those things and trying to gain wisdom and understanding about these things. And you know what, there's a big emphasis on my channel when it comes to do with the laws and law enforcement, and then also Christianity. And but we look at all the issues, trying to take an uncensored look at all the issues facing all of us as Americans, and to gain wisdom and understanding on those things to help each other better our ways, right? And but today we're going to talk about, I've done a video in the past about, you know, how did we get here, and how did we end up here, and you know, in this nation, it's the whole world really, but you take a look at this nation, and you know, how did we get here in this god-awful mess that we're in? And one of the ways, I've already did a video, and there's probably more to come, about men not being men, right? You know, taking a look at where men are failing. And so today we're going to take a look at women, right? And I'm not, you know, I suppose more specifically, we're going to talk kind of, I suppose we're going to be talking about the Jezebel spirit, not in a way that you've heard it out there. There's Mark Driscoll, or whatever his name, you know, Megachurch, all that drama that's going on. That's one thing, you know, one more way, you know, what times we are in, what seasons we are in this world is, you know, you got the members of the mega churches now fighting each other out, bringing their drama out in public and all that. Okay, but you know, like all of them, all of these people wouldn't get where they, if there wasn't some kind of truth behind what they're saying. And I'm not gonna I'm not here to cut, you know, all these people down, but you got to use your own discernment and see if these people are worthy of following and accepting their beliefs, you know, whatever. But so today we're gonna, if you get offended easily, then I guess don't watch the channel, right? I am not part of the He-Man Woman Haters Club at all. And you know, we all have our purpose and our role, and I believe that. And men have stepped away from their role, and as women have also. And you know, so I am like I say, I'm not a woman hater. Sometimes I'll goof around and joke around like anyone else and say stuff, but you know, we all have our purpose and rights, and you know, we're all equal. And but the fact of the matter is, men have escaped their role, and women certainly have as well. And the thing is, I certainly am not the feminist movement is of the devil, and you know, I do not agree with that at all. But so let's take a look. You know, how did this world get this way, and how did America end up in the shape it's in? And let's just consider that. Let's consider, you know, like I said, I already did a video once on some issues about men, and you know, like I said, there's probably more to come. It's really, we're looking at all of us, but let's take a look at this. And you know, women this day and age, you know, we wouldn't be in the shape we're in if women were being proper women, but this day and age they are not. And you know, I was gonna do I seen a video I'm gonna show a little bit later from this Ruslan KD, but we'll get to his later. I seen it and I wanted to do something on it. But then another video popped up and I was like, okay, well, this is maybe an issue we should talk about. And we're going to get in depth here probably, hopefully. I'm going to share some things and then we're going to see what, you know, how the wisdom has to tell us, right? And so I want to take a look at this Candace Owens video. Surely you probably know who Candace Owens is. I've never really followed her, watched too much of her stuff, and I guess, you know, honestly, I never cared too much of her. You know, it just whatever. You got the left and the right, and I try to stay away from all of that. But we have, she did this video, and you know, it's both these videos I'm going to show are a little bit older, but they present the issues we need to talk about. You know, they present opportunity to bring these issues to light. So in Candace Owens' video, women have become the perverts. I'm pretty sure is the title of it, and I'm going to show a little clip, and we'll discuss that. And she says, life was better when it was harder to see boobs. Is that the truth? Now, let me go ahead and show you this clip.
Women are nasty now. Something I've noticed. I want to just say this right at the top of 2024. We have become the perverts. In fact, what's even more ironic is that as we point the finger and pretend that men are the perverts, Me Too error, time's up, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. It is so clearly evident everywhere that you look in society that it's actually us. We have become the sexual aggressors. Now, before I get into that, I want to point to this article. It is old. It was published in 2016. The author's name is Amy Otto. And she wrote, men did greater things when it was harder to see boobs. I totally agree with that statement. Don't even have to think hard about it. She writes, giving sex for free destroyed men's motivation. Men used to marry younger and in larger numbers to lock down their very own real-life woman. But now, in a bizarre gambit to gain equality, women gave away a ton of the power that they had accumulated in society. They held the majority of the cards in sexual relationships and, facing a royal flush, decided to fold. Women used to set the cultural standards and the parameters for intimate activity. Now, often the guys wield more power over sex, and the girls are working way too hard, way too soon, with no reciprocity. More widely available hookups have made men less likely to commit. Let's explore that, because as I said, it is true. This is the long result of the women's movement, the feminist movement, the second wave that took place in the 1970s, where suddenly you had a bunch of cultural leaders like Gloria Steinem, writers like Helene Crixus, who were suddenly telling women that domesticity was wrong, that they needed to pursue their sexual freedom. And now the results of it are abundant. Every time I open the internet, I am actually shocked. I'm going to take you through a few things that I saw while I was on maternity leave, and I just went, what is happening? What is this woman doing? This is not a woman that is free. She is a pervert. If a man did this, he'd probably be put into prison. But because she's a woman, people are pretending that this is okay. By the way, here's another post from Kesha, the victim of sexual assault, if you believed one of her stories, which has changed over the years. This just says, tits out. And guess what? Her tits are out. But again, I need to impress upon you that these women have all shared their stories. They are the victims in society. That is why they continue to act like pervs. So, 2024, I want to welcome men and women to start calling these sorts of women what they are. They're perverts. It's disgusting. I've had enough of it. I don't get it. It's become a mental disorder. I go online and I say, what is wrong? What kind of a race to the bottom is this? And then I ask the question to men, is this even interesting to you anymore? Because I have to imagine it's not. I have to imagine that most men are just bored of seeing this. We get it, okay? There's no mystery here. There's nothing that you want to lock up and marry. That's why none of these women that I just showed you are married, right? Because you've already given everything to everyone on the internet. I feel like I have slept with all of these women. I can't imagine how everybody else feels. Just like the guy in the gym. Hey, get out of here, okay? We get it. You're obsessed with yourself and obsessed with your body. And the fact that some of these women are mothers, like Emily Ratajkowski, I mean, shame on you. Shame on women. Shame on women in this day and age.
Clip. Now, you know, shame on women this day and age. Amen, Candace. She says this, shame on women in this day and age. You've already given everything to everyone. Why would I want what you have to offer, right? Why would any good man want what you have to offer when you've done given it away to everyone else, right? And now, then these women, as they get older, then suddenly, oh, I can't find a good man, I need a good man. And now they think that some good man should come along and go through all the motion, everything it takes, do everything to please her and do everything to try to get it like it's a prize, even though she done gave it away to everybody else. This is the truth, and these are matters we don't, so how do you become the first step in becoming a more attractive woman? I've never, especially people with a little bit of fame, I don't, a lot of people are surprised that they'll mention whatever hot female actress and I don't know who they're talking about, and they're looking at me like, oh, bullshit, right? No, I don't, because that stuff don't get me. What gets me is a person that's into me, not somebody who's flaunting it and flashing it to everybody else. Okay? And so one way you become more attractive already is that you're willing to take a look at this truth that's being presented, like Candace Owens putting out there. You take a look at these truths and admit them, accept them, and then you automatically, to a good man, to any truly good man that you should be seeking, the kind of man you should be seeking, he's gonna think you're more attractive already because you understand this, right? But let's think about this. The heart of the matter goes way deeper than that, than what Candace Owens is presenting. It goes way deeper than that. And in fact, it has always been there. Now, she's pointing out how women right now are going so far, practically giving away their nudity or whatever. But the truth is, if we're looking at it in biblical sense, like one thing I try to say is, everybody talks about biblical times and biblical ways. We're always in biblical times. There's no end of the biblical times, right? It's all biblical times. We're currently in biblical times. We're always have been, always will be. And the thing is, so excuse me, we'll get down to this in a minute, a little more, but if a woman's truly trying to be a woman of God, and we all have, I'm not holier than thou. I need to put that disclaimer in there. I'm no kind of professional or religious leader. I'm not holier than thou. I'm just somebody that comes to some wisdom and understanding. Like Solomon, I too have applied my heart to know and to search out and seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know wickedness of folly, even foolishness and madness, to understand these things, right? So a woman that's truly trying to be godly understands she don't have to show it all off, give it all away, only to that one proper person. And that's the way life was designed. We'll get more into that in a little bit here, but the point is, this issue, it goes much deeper than Candace Owens is saying. You got women that, even though, for how many years and years and years now, that they weren't so much flaunting it right out, practically being nude, but they were wearing clothes that were revealing in one way or another, some form. They got to show off them features that, that get a guy going. And women do this. So be, as an example, I was with one. She always had to wear whatever. She had these one certain types of jeans that were her favorite. And why? Because it made her butt look good, right? She was always worried about that. And then, I was with a woman before that had always trying to show her cleavage, right? And show that off. And the thing is, you're showing all that off, but and not in the ways they are now. It was a little more subtle. It wasn't. But the thing is, they're drawing attention purposely to those features, and you're not supposed to be doing that. Okay, that's the reason why, you know, that one of the things I say about Christians always giving the Islamics, you know, all their crap. Okay, I don't agree with the religion of Islam and all that, right? But some of their things, they keep, women are covered, and they're supposed to be. Okay, all that wonderfulness that you got there, you're not supposed to be, it's not supposed to be for other people's eyes, other people to lust over. It's supposed to be for that one man, right? And it's the same way around. You know, the things I'm saying, I'm not cutting only on women. You know, all these things, we all have, you know, the men have their role to do too, and have to do it properly too, right? But so the issue has always been there, and we're going to get to this in a minute, and I'm going to prove this, that this issue has always been there. Okay, you know, one of the takeaways from Candace's video is that you know, women had the power, and that's the truth. You know, like my language or whatever, but you know, the term pussy whooped, right? And I had a woman I was with get real upset with me one time because I forgot what the issue was. It's something stupid or whatever, but I just smarted off and I said, if you think I gotta do what, you know, you're gonna cause me to do your will just because of that, you know, pointed, and between your legs, what, and she didn't like the way I said it. I guess maybe, you know, kind of maybe could have been taken as offensive. She got upset about it. But the point was, you know, I'm not going to be pussy whooped and, you know, whatever pardon the language or whatever, but right? But it's just the truth. Okay, and women use that, and they always have, for their advantage to get their way, and they'll give it away to get the simplest of things. I've seen this, you know, I used to be, we'll get down to this, okay? So, but this is the point, you know, and you're supposed to be with one godly man, and that godly man is supposed to have one godly woman. And together, it's like, I don't have to do something special to deserve you giving yourself to me. You're supposed to give yourself to me because you're my woman, right? Not because I did some special thing, spent X amount of dollars, or, you know, done something stupid or whatever, you know? It's not supposed to be that way. We're supposed to be one unit. We become one unit, and, you know, there's no withholding or then giving it because of special things. That's mine, it should be mine, period, right? That's, like it or not, that's the way it truly is. Okay, but now we're going to check out this Ruslan KD video. Let's go ahead and we'll get to this one. And he's doing this video. The video I'm going to show of his, to get to the point where I'm going to be discussing, is about halfway into his video. I think he might have been doing a live stream, and I came on to, I've seen some of his videos. I'm not going to, you know, you got to use your own discernment, but I have some questions of his faith, you know, based on what we're about to discover here. And the thing is, so he does this, Kelly Stamps is this YouTuber, female YouTuber that I guess, famous YouTuber or whatever, right? I don't really know who she is, never heard nothing from hers. And she does a video, but she has another channel that isn't as popular or whatever, where she does this segment, why is everyone turning Christian? And Ruslan, and the reason I'm using his video is because Ruslan is a Christian channel or whatever, right? And he is doing a reaction video, and I think first it's something to do with Little Nas, and whatever I was thinking about doing a video on at the time. So I watched Ruslan's video, and I've watched a few of his videos, some good stuff, and some makes me question his stuff, right? But this ain't to say go watch it or don't, you know, but the links will be provided to these videos. His video, you've got to go about halfway through, maybe 50-minute mark or something like that, to get to where I'm talking about, where he does this thing on Kelly Stamps. And the reason I'm using his video, because his is the reaction video instead of just going right straight to her video, is because he's a Christian YouTuber, and some of these stuff he should find, and he should be putting a different opinion out there. Now we'll get down to it. So we'll take a look.
Kelly Stamps is a creator with over 712,000 subscribers. She makes vlogs and different videos, and she's grown her audience very big. I've seen her on different shows like Graham Stephan's podcast from a while ago. And recently, she's been opening up on her channel about how going viral wrecked her mental health and all these different things. But the interesting part is that Kelly hasn't been uploading as much on her main channel, and actually started a secret second channel that she doesn't really promote. Okay. And it's a smaller channel, but I came across this video that I actually think completely ties into what we were just talking about with regards to the changing demographics that we're seeing in culture and in society. And this video is called Why is Everyone Christian All of a Sudden? Okay. And her thoughts are very, very interesting. Okay, so check this out.
Good morning. Why is everybody turning to Jesus? I mean, it seems like every week another big musician or actress or mega YouTube celebrity is turning to Jesus. And no, I did not just refer to myself as a YouTube mega celebrity. I am very aware of my status, thank you. Me and my spatula are internationally known, but I'm not referring to myself. I'm talking about people with millions of subscribers. Jijion, okay, big star, apparently decides to shut down his YouTube production because he wants to live for Christ from now on. He's basically telling his people that I don't feel fulfilled anymore. Why is that? Why is it that all of a sudden everybody is coming forward saying, you know, this is not the way anymore? Let's get into it.
Okay, so anyways, we'll get down to this, but he's doing a reaction on her video, right? So it's important about some things she says to show you, one, especially the younger Christians, some of you guys, you know, you got to get right, because you're not going to get there believing the way you do or doing the things you do. Okay. And, you know, so she's a popular YouTuber, and now she's giving out her views of how she thinks Christianity should be, or Christian women should be, or whatever. And she's misleading people. And Ruslan, being a Christian YouTuber, doing a reaction on her video, Ruslan should have called it out. Should have called it out. And we'll get to it. But, you know, some of the things she says is correct and right. But let's just look at this. So some of the points, so let's check it. Okay.
I have been struggling to make this video for over 2 hours now. This is really weird because I've never had an issue just getting on camera and talking. Usually it's the other problem. I don't stop talking. Every time I got to a really good point on my list of bullet points that I have here, I start stuttering, something happens, the door would shake. It is quite windy today, but I mean, just weird noises would stop me. So then I realized, wait a second, thank you, enemy. This is on brand with what I have to say. And now I have the power to say it. Forget all the bullet points that I had. I had all these super cute little points I was gonna make. Here's the truth. The enemy will attack you at different levels. In reference to the content creators and celebrities and whatever type of artist you are, we have all been attacked spiritually. My throat could have literally been blocked just now. Yes, believe it or not, by the devil. In a spiritual world, everything makes sense. The enemy will attack you at the flesh, spiritually. There are different ways. People are not ready to receive the message. I have been attacked at the flesh.
Okay. All right, the enemy will attack and keep you from getting things out. I apologize, we're going to show a little bit of dumb stuff from her too, but to get the whole feel of who this person is and what's going on here, right? And she's right, the enemy will attack, and sometimes, you know, whatever, keep you from getting things out. But also, sometimes God himself will keep you from getting things out because you're misleading people, and he's trying to stop you from putting this nonsense out there. And we'll get to that. You know, overall, a lot of stuff she's saying is right, but that's how Satan works. That's how Satan works on everything. That's how feminism come about, you know, got the way and ruined our world the way it did. Okay. This is how the devil works. And he takes half truths and twists them up into a whole bunch of lies. But those half truths are enough to make you think that it's right. Okay. And, you know, then she goes on to and explains why church is important, trusting in God, and relationship advice.
She goes on to say some really interesting things here. So let's keep watching.
Give you a good example. Bear with me. This is a real story. This just happened. I was in Austin, Texas recently, right? I'm walking around with my friends. Okay, Anne-Marie's there, Isaiah's there, and then Anne-Marie's friend is there as well. Hello, Oyen. And we're all walking around Austin on like South Lamar or South Congress, one of those streets, right? So we're going into this bookstore, and we just had a long chat. Like, I mean, one of the friends in this group wanted me to explain, why do the rest of us go to church? Why? What's the point of it? Okay, good questions. I was answering all of them, and I said, it's just, when you feel God's love for you and you just surrender, he just takes care of the rest. That's it. Suddenly all your worries of the world are just gone. Worrying about finding the one, worried about how your business is going to go, worrying about money, all of these things will just fall into place if you just trust in him. But you have to be open to it. We had, I'm not kidding, like a 6 to 7 hour conversation about trusting his plan.
Wait a minute. Here's the most important part of her video.
And specifically, I talked about romance, and I said how I believe my first boyfriend was sent to me for a reason, as a stepping stone to learn from, and God is preparing me right now to be a wife.
What? Did you catch that? Hold on a minute. Did you catch that? Is your reaction the same as mine? She's supposedly Christian, even if she hasn't even been Christian that long. Once you become Christian, you should understand this. Hold on. Let's check this again, and then let's see Ruslan's reaction.
My first boyfriend was sent to me for a reason, as a stepping stone to learn from, and God is preparing me right now to be a wife. I've been...
I love this. I wouldn't refer to a person as a stepping stone, though. that came out weird. And I'm glad that she's being authentic, but that sounds kind of crazy. Like he was a stepping stone.
Okay, whoa. Right? Whoa. I mean, Ruslan points it out. He stops and points it out and then laughs it off. Like, well, that ain't the right choice of words. Hold on. You're a Christian YouTuber, and you should be helping these people. But you are obviously starry-eyed over this Kelly Stamps, whatever. He should be calling her out. God does not put people in our lives to be stepping stones. Do you have any idea what it's like to be a stepping stone? I do, right? God doesn't put people in your lives to be a stepping stone. Oh, hold on. Let me I'm sorry. Now I have to ask forgiveness. I should be sitting here thanking God for the opportunity to be a stepping stone. Thank you. Now I've done your will, God. I'm everybody's stepping stone, right? That's not how God works. Are you kidding me? And this is just nonsense, and Ruslan should be calling her out big time over it. God does not put any people in our life to be a stepping stone for anything whatsoever. That's not how this goes, okay? And, well, this spoiled bitch needs something, whatever, so let me put a stepping stone in her life. She needs it, right? Oh, who cares about that person, right? Let's ask the stepping stone how it was. Okay, what's it like to be a stepping stone? Well, this is Kelly Stamps' way of, you got to watch what you say or whatever, right? But she's all about the Bible. So what does the Bible call what she's doing? Whoring. She's a whoring, right? She's out a whoring. That's what it is. And then using people as stepping stones. And that's her way of getting over it. Oh, well, I've been giving myself out, and I've been, handling relationships in an ungodly manner, in a way that God would not approve of, in a way I'm going to forgive myself for it and get over it, is to say, well, God put that person in my life to be a stepping stone. She goes on to say she's learning to be a wife. God is putting people in her life through dating and stuff so she can learn to be a wife. That's not how that works, right? This is not how dating should be. And this, the way life is and the way dating is these days, it's so wrong. It's so wrong. Okay? He didn't put us on this world to be out dating and be with this person and that person, give ourselves away to this person and that person until we find who we're satisfied with. That's not how it works. You give yourself somebody, in his eyes, you are now one. Okay, and now you have a responsibility to be the proper person. Okay, so she is not truly saved. Kelly Stamps is not truly saved. Now we got to question Ruslan because what the hell, bro? You should have called that shit out. And several things that she does you should call out, because she's right on some points, but like I said, that's how the devil works. Now she says to read Proverbs right? And we're going to do that in a minute. We're going to get down to Proverbs and see what Proverbs has to say about the types of actions of Miss Kelly Stamps, right? So now she goes on, and let's show this part.
You can do whatever you want. You can manifest, you get your little crystals, you can do your little, you know, whatever you guys find, whatever's popular. You can do all these things, spell work, all these ways of manipulating. But the point is that God has a plan for each and every one of us. And this goes into that whole conversation of fate versus free will.
She says you can do whatever is popular, crystal, spell work, blah, blah, blah. And Ruslan, you see, he's yup, agreeing, yup. No, you cannot, okay? A Christian, if you want to be truly saved, okay, Jesus in your life, you cannot do crystals, spell work. You can't do none of that. You need to get rid of all of it, except Jesus in your life. Okay, you don't go around saying you're a Christian and you're telling young girls how to become Christian women and telling, oh, it's okay to do spell work and all this and that. But, you know, yeah, she's trying to make a bigger point, but it's not okay to do that stuff. It's just not. Okay, then she tells, now, hold on. Now, listen to this. She tells women to adjust their type.
I was hanging out with new people who are in line with God's plan for me. He wants me to have a community. He wants you to have a community. God does not want you to be lonely. He doesn't.
Amen.
If you're lonely right now, that's because you can't find your people. Okay, you got to find your people. He will bring them to you. He will, but you have to try to find them yourself too. But anyway, I'm walking around with new friends, and we literally just had like a 6 to 7 hour conversation, as I mentioned before, about trusting God's plan for you and just praying, whatever. Anyway, we're about to go into a place called Half Price Books. Okay, ladies. Sometimes, like I said in an old video, you have to adjust your type if you actually want to be successfully happy, married, in a relationship and all that.
Right? But then
I prayed out loud and I said, God, send me a man who's please over 6 foot or taller. I'm like 5'11", you know, 6 foot. Don't play around. You can get specific in these prayers. 6 foot. I said, I like dark hair, tall, lanky, bearded, mustache. I want you to look like, you know, kind of like a good looking Sasquatch. I'm into that, the beanie and all that. I said, I have a certain type of man, right?
I think she just described like every tall hipster in New York City.
she prays to God and tells him exactly what her type has to be. What? That's not how God works. You don't pray to God and say, hey, God, I need this type of person, right? I didn't know all this time. Because I wasn't praying right, God had to use me as a stepping stone, right? I didn't know I should be saying, God, send me a beautiful woman with some pretty nice boobs, a nice butt, right? That's what I want, right? Beautiful eyes and a nice smile, this color hair, this length, that's not how that works. God knows your heart. You say, when you have the Lord in your life, you don't have to be out there searching. He will, she kind of says that, and this is right. He will put the people in your life. He'll bring us together, but you don't treat them as a stepping stone. He's not putting them in your life. That's the problem. She's still looking for a man. Well, the problem is because she hasn't repented. And this is what I'm talking about. She has not repented from using that man as a stepping stone. So what I would like to propose here, maybe we get Ruslan and Kelly Stamps and me, and we'll all three do a live stream to discuss this matter. But wait, there's more. We'll also get the stepping stone on the live stream. What do you think about that, Ruslan? Can we do that? Can we do that? You're definitely way more popular than me. Got a lot going on for your channel. I'll figure out how to get my live stream going, and we'll do a connect up or whatever, and we'll do that, and we'll get, you're big enough you could reach out to Kelly Stamps. We'll get her on there, and then we'll see if we can find this Mr. Stepping Stone, and we'll see what he has to say about the whole situation, how his life, how he feels about doing God's work of being a stepping stone, right? So, this, and then, and finally, my point on Kelly Stamps is right here, the way she says Jesus.
Works right when you start getting, this is a real story, guys. Right when you start getting comfortable, sorry, I'm like out of the shot right now. Right when you start getting comfortable, Satan will send you something to distract you. I am comfortable in waiting for the right man for me, because that is in God's plan. He who finds his wife, not she who goes into a bookstore looking for a man who practices witchcraft. But more importantly, like I said, none of this fickle stuff matters. If I cared about having anybody, just anybody, if I was desperate, I would have let that man talk to me. If I was desperate, I
Come
would
on.
hang on to these lifelong friendships with people
Come
who are,
on.
in my opinion, tempting me into sin. I have always
Message.
been very supportive of other people's issues and stuff they got going on, but I had to make some strong reassessments after the new year. Who needs to stay in it? Who needs to be out of it? Who needs to be downgraded? It is very simple. Jesus loves each and every one of us.
Right? That's not how you say Jesus, okay? That's not how, like, he's not some little baby or some little imaginary thing. He's real. You talk about Jesus like he's real. You don't use it in vain where, oh, you're claiming to be a Christian, but every time you mention God's name, you got to be, right? Jesus, right? You know, this woman is not saved. She needs help. Ruslan, you need to help her. She has no clue what the hell she's talking about. Let's get down into this a little further. Okay, now, because this is, here's the thing, this is common. It's common that we are looking at things this way. And it's not just the women, men too, whatever, right? And I'm not trying to say men are above the women. You know, men have their job to do and they are not doing it. You see the videos I already said before, men aren't being men. Well, women aren't being women anymore. And the truth is, Satan devised a plan years and years and years and years ago and called it feminism, right? And we'll do, you know, some of these issues we'll break down further in other videos. And one thing I'm going to say, because what does it all come down to? What the way this Kelly Stamps acts, and then these issues like Candace Owens is pointing out. What do these issues all have in common? The Jezebel spirit. Okay, well, now I'm not saying it the way the mainstream's saying it. The Jezebel spirit, it's kind of really a real thing, but is it? No, it becomes that because Jezebel, way back centuries ago, right, is the one who became known for being so fierce like this. Her name was Jezebel. So now every time a woman shows these traits, then she's a Jezebel, right? But I say it's deeper than that, and that it's actually Lilith, okay? Because we can trace these issues all the way back to the beginning, and I'm gonna show this, and we can trace these issues back to the beginning. And some of this is issues for another video, because when we start talking about Lilith, right? There's all kinds of different views about Lilith, with none of them with any hardcore facts. And so I have my own view, and I'm, you know, that I will present in another video or whatever, but that really Eve and Lilith are the same. They're one person, okay? That one woman had these two personalities, Lilith and Eve. And then when everything went down, you know, and then she became the mother to her first child, she became named Eve, for she's the mother of the living, right? And, you know, but before that, when she chose to listen to the devil, she was Lilith. That don't matter. Or Jezebel, right? The Jezebel spirit. And why is that? Because she disobeys God, and she wants her way. It's her way, and she'll do anything to get it, and she'll do whatever nastiness to get her way, right? She's steps on men, steps on the order of things, wants to rise above the power of everything, and that's Jezebel. And you know, so, but it was always there from the beginning. And you know, that's what it goes back to, Ahab and Jezebel, right? King Ahab. And this is 1 Kings 16 and 17. You read through that. It's Ahab married up with Jezebel, and Jezebel took Ahab away from the proper faith and got him to believe, and got the whole nation swayed to worship Baal, however you say his name, right? Baal, right? The devil. That's what Jezebel did. She was responsible for that. And but you see what Jezebel, the woman, used whatever she could to deceive and get in there and just destroy everything, because she had to have her way, and Ahab wouldn't put her in her place. No, woman, No, woman, you're a woman, and we are people of God, and I will run my nation according to the way God says. Step in line the way God says. Ahab has to take care of her the way God says, and has to lead the way God says. He has to, but he did not, right? They're both at fault, but she led him away. And this is the way it was in the very beginning, okay? Like, but women, the whole feminist thing wants to take shots at the way God did these things. But why is it? Because the woman listened to the devil. The woman has been, the thing is about feminism is what I'm trying to say, is they take a few bad issues throughout history and ramp them up as if this is what was going on everywhere. Like women was just mistreated everywhere throughout all of history until we finally got into the 1800s, into the 1900s. Women were just abused and hated, and you know, if that was true, we would have never got this far. Women have been in power the whole time, and the devil is trying to give them more and more power because he knows the heart of a woman. And you know, that might sound offensive, and we're getting to that. We'll get how to get around that, right? But this is the truth, and it takes us right back to the beginning. All right, everyone, I'm gonna have to cut in and turn this into two parts. I'm gonna part 1 and part 2 on this video. As it turns out, it's turning out quite long and a little too long for my equipment. Won't keep up because of the little bit of situation I got going on, right? They have my still have all my stuff, and they got my charger to my stuff. You know, it's just ridiculous. But anyways, but this will give me an opportunity to clear up a few points and add in a few points that I missed, and I'll put that in the second part. And so, I mean, one thing I just want to say, I'm not, you know, saying every woman is bad. I'm not trying to say that, right? And this Kelly Stamps, I'm not trying to say she's a horrible person or call her any names. That none of that's directed directly towards her. It may come off that way and sound that way, but it's, you know, that's not the intention. I'm sure her heart seems to be in the right place, and you know, she's got a lot of good points, but the fact of the matter is she needs to straighten out on some things, and you know, that's just the facts. But I'm not, you know, I got no actual problem with her, and I'm not calling her, and you know, some of the stuff I was saying, it's I'm not actually directing any kind of names towards her. I'm just saying, you know, basically I'm using her as an example, as an overall view. You got the extreme, you got it to the extreme on one way with the you got it extreme one way with the feminist movement, and then, but you still got the issue going on, because even within the Christian thing, you know, that among the Christians, you know, as that's where my example is coming in with this Kelly Stamps, you know, and that's all that's the whole purpose of that. And you know, so I'm saying, you know, and this is the truth, it's not that every woman's a bad woman, it's every woman faces this issue, the struggle between the spirit, right? And that's just the truth. And you know, Satan came along with the feminist movement and you know, totally distorted stuff. But the truth is, to be a true, strong, independent woman, first of all, it's not independent because you don't want to be independent from God, right? But to be, you know, you want to have your independent choices and show your strength as a woman, then you will accept the way of God, and you know, and go through the struggle to put Him and His way properly in your life, and stop letting, you know, the Jezebel spirit control you, right? So anyways, this will wrap up part 1, and then we'll go ahead and I thank you for watching this far, if you have, and please make sure you check out the other part. because we'll wrap it up and it'll all come together after you understand the whole of everything I'm saying. It could be misunderstood if you're only catching part of it. So catch the rest of it, and then of course always check with me in the comments. Tell me how you think, if you agree or not, and then but whatever. Just to wrap up this segment, and I'll see you on the next part 2. See you.